You learn the secrets of the social media through the social universe, and in many cases, the secrets of the universe itself. I am your host, Kurt Wilhelm, and I am joined by our guests, Tashina and Shaylin, who Tashina is the founder of Miss Native American USA, and 2012 was their debut of the Miss Native American USA, and also Shaylin, who joining us as this year's pageant winner. So definitely welcome to the show, both of you. And one of the things that we learned about Tashina over the break is a little bit more about the nonprofit organization that you work for. That's where you work full-time, correct?
Right. I work for Fresh Start Women's Resource Center. It's located downtown Phoenix.
And tell us a little bit about that. It's probably a cause you believe in, is going to be my guess. If
I
you
do.
Work there, but
It
go
is.
ahead.
It is. I mean, when I competed for Miss Arizona, I actually had to have a platform. And Fresh Start was actually my charity. So I went and I volunteered several hours, and eventually I was hired at Fresh Start.
Okay.
So it is actually my platform charity for the year, and now I work for it.
Wonderful. What is the website if somebody wants to go donate or get more involved in it?
Our actual website is phoenix.wehelpwomen.com. And we're located downtown Phoenix between 11th Street and 12th Street on McDowell Road.
Okay, wonderful. And also, let's give the contact information for Miss Native American USA as well.
Sure. Our website is www.missnativeamericanusapageant.com. And our email address is www.missnativeamerican_USA@yahoo.com.
Perfect. And on Facebook, would they just how would they find you?
Our Facebook is Miss Native American USA.
Okay, simple enough. Okay, so Shaylin, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you came to participate in the pageant.
Well, my name is Shaylin Shaby. I am from a small town about 5 hours north of Phoenix, Arizona. It's called Kayenta, Arizona. I basically grew up on the Navajo Reservation and partly in Glendale, Arizona as well. So I got to experience the best of both worlds, I say. My family was raised in church growing up mostly, and when we moved back to the reservation, as I was a little bit older and approaching middle school and high school, I saw more of my culture. I basically learned what my 4 clans are. When you're Navajo, you have 4 clans, and I learned how to introduce myself. I learned how to kind of pick up the tone in speaking it. So it was really good for me to see both sides of my culture, and also being out here in Phoenix as well in the urban areas. So yes.
That is what's exciting to learn both sides.
Yeah.
What was the biggest, if you look deep inside of yourself as you rediscovered your culture, what was the biggest change or not even change, but revelation that about who you are? Was there anything that kind of came to you as kind of rounded out yourself as a person?
I think identifying who your parents are and who their parents are, because when we say our clans, when we introduce ourselves, we also say who our grandparents are as well. And just getting to know my grandparents, because they were on the reservation, and like I said, I grew up mostly here in Phoenix, and then when I got to see that, I got to see how important it was for other kids as well in school, and how they knew all of those things. So I had major pressure to learn who I was, for sure. I didn't want to get laughed at if I didn't know what my clans were, who my grandparents were, and so I really made sure that I understood that right when I first got there. So
I think that feeling of knowing how long culture has been around, I think the first time I had that experience, I was in England visiting, and we went to a midnight mass and sat down in a cathedral that had been around for, I I don't know how many years, maybe 1,000 years, which doesn't even begin to have that same cultural depth and length that the Native American culture does. And but as I was sitting there, I thought, I'm connected to how many generations back.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing feeling. And so I'm sure it was something similar to that you were feeling as you were connecting to your ancestors.
Oh, yeah. For sure, and knowing that the importance of it, they taught it in school on the reservation, and you got graded on it too. So
Wow.
yeah, they're really strong about it. I actually attended Ganado Middle School, and that's I think where I learned a lot of where I picked up even writing and reading Navajo. They tried to teach us that. And I had never even seen my language in print from before.
Oh.
So it was very interesting, and it's very hard, I have to tell you. It's very hard to not only speak it, but to try to read it as well is quite the challenge.
That is a challenge.
Yes.
I'm not bilingual. I wish I were. How many times I need to turn that wish into reality, right?
Oh, yeah, and I'm not bilingual either.
Oh, okay.
I still have a whole lot to
I feel
learn.
better.
Yeah, no, I still have a whole lot to learn, yes.
Well, great. So now, as you graduated from now, did you graduate from Glendale? So you went to Ganado?
I
earlier.
actually went to Ganado Middle School, and then from there I went back to my hometown, which is Kayenta, and I was fortunate enough to graduate from my hometown
great.
high school, which is Minot Valley High School.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's possible. St. John's High School is where I graduated from, and we may have played each other in
yeah,
sports.
yeah, I could see that happening.
No rivals right
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
And I played volleyball in high
Oh,
school,
look at
so
that.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We absolutely loved going, and there's a bit of traveling both for both schools,
Oh, yeah.
but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, for sure.
So then as you graduated from Kayenta,
I did.
Then from there, where did you go?
I attended college at the College of Eastern Utah at the San Juan campus.
Mhm.
That was actually really interesting for me because they had a pageant there that I became interested in. They tried to form their own pageant, Miss CEU SJC, which is San Juan campus.
Okay.
I was excited about that because there was scholarship in there for
Absolutely.
me, so I was definitely going to go for it, and I did. And I was kind of disappointed because there weren't anybody else that was going to run against me. So they just decided, since I wrote the essays and I did everything necessary to gain the title, they just kind of handed the title over to me. So, which is something quite different from what Miss Native American USA was. It was a tough, challenge. It was a little bit like a battle for me to try to get that. I was battling my nerves the whole time. So,
Sure.
yeah, but I just did a little bit of public appearances and things like that with that title, and yeah, and I went to school there, and I did a little bit of my general studies there, and before moving here back to Arizona. So yeah.
Okay. Well, good for you. That's great. So then that was connections to Utah. Then how did you find out about the pageant?
Well, I actually found out through networking with just Facebook. So
There
I
you go.
saw,
There's a social media plus right there.
Yeah, I saw someone was announcing it, and I thought, wow, what an awesome title. I've never heard of Miss Native American USA in my entire life, and to think that it's finally somebody, who is this brilliant person really? Because I wish I could have thought about that myself. But I just saw the name, and I thought, right when I saw it, I dreamt of the opportunity. I knew that was something that was already pulling me. Something was pulling me toward it, and I had to find out more. And I saw that the age requirements were, actually, I fit the age requirements really well. So
Okay.
I wanted to, for sure, and I knew that I wasn't old enough or I was too old to run for Miss Navajo.
Okay.
Which is, Navajo is my culture, so I saw this one and I thought I have to. That's the main thing, I have to, so. Yeah.
I think that have to has something to do with the fact that you won. You have to know what you want, right?
Yes,
So and
yes.
you obviously did. So that is great. So now you applied and then came down. What was the application process like? If somebody is going to apply in the future, is it grueling? Do you have to write lots of essays? What's it like?
Well, the application process is just like filling out any other job application. They want to know about you. So you really have to sell yourself, and you don't want to give them a whole story, a whole novel. You know, you want to just give them, you know, key points to yourself and the highlights of your life and the highlights of what your passion is. And really, that's what it came down to, was filling out the whole questionnaire, writing the check, which the check is kind of like my registration, and it's my dedication. It's proving yourself, saying, okay, I'm in this and I'm going to stay in this. You had to send photos of yourself as well. So, Tashina was really, it's really, she gave us girls a really good opportunity, because they didn't have to be professional photos. They could just be a nice photo that you took of yourself, or that someone took of you. So.
The only recommendation I'm going to give is anybody who wants to hold the camera out in front of the face and snap the picture.
The bathroom picture?
Yeah, the bathroom picture. Don't do that. It's obvious. They
Or
can
the
see your
car,
arm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I made sure that my pictures were really good, and you know, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else that. But I knew once I let go of the whole packet with all my information, my photos, you know, with the check, I screamed. As soon as I let go in the mailbox, I screamed. I just
really,
thought,
that much pressure
I
that
am
left.
doing this. I am really doing this. Wow. And
that's cute.
it's kind of a liberating feeling,
Mhm.
knowing that I was taking a huge stride into something that I've never done before. I've never competed in something so big, and it's just, I'll never forget the feeling. And I hope that I feel that way with other opportunities, other, you know, bigger strides as I continue to grow. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. It looks like we are coming up on commercial break again. We thank all of you for ahead of time for sticking with us, and right after commercial break, we are going to talk a little bit more about what the pageant itself was like, and Shaylin's experience for any of you who are either looking at participating yourselves or just wondering, you know, what's it like behind the scenes when they're out there. They look so beautiful and composed, but what's it really like? So don't go away. We'll be right back after break. Thank you.
I was a little worried that I was talking too much.